About the old days, the history of the club and how the club's evolved without internet. It'll take 10 minutes, so please be patient. I joined this wonderful club in 1979 to begin a 40-year adventure. I'm a doctor and I had a practice in Bankstown, and this guy called Mervyn Westerweller. Some of the old people would remember Mervyn Westerweller. He'd come in often, and as he was leaving, he'd always say, "Look, I'm the president of a local running club, Western District Joggers and Harriers. We race every Saturday morning at Lake Illawarra. Come down and have a run." And I'd say to Mervyn, "I'm not interested, just go away." Anyway, he wore me down and he wore me out, and I came down here one day 40 years ago, and I remember the day so well, even though it was such a long time ago. He was happy to see me. He introduced me to the committee. I met the gun runners. Bill Cliggan was there that day, along with the German guy, Horst Wegner, and they would run marathons neck and neck, 2:24, 2:25, and they were regular club members. And a week later I met Keith Swift, which is a great name for a runner, and he would beat them both. But on that first day I also met Murray Halls, the young gun. Murray was 20 and he would run around here in 31 minutes. And you've got to remember that the track from Burt's drink station at the 3 kilometre mark onwards was a pothole dirt track. And when you ran it in the wet, you came back to the finish splattered in mud. And out near the Yim Highway there was a creek. I don't know whether the old people remember the creek. You run down a gully, cross the creek and go up the other side. Now the creek was fine when the weather was fine, but when it rained it turned into a little river. So I remember sloshing through the river in the middle of winter, and it made your toes tingle, believe me. And there are people here today, well there aren't actually, but there were people here today that I met on that first day. The O'Maras were there, but they've moved to the country, they've got it. And Dave Kennedy, look, there's another guy I met. He used to come along with bucket loads of fruit then, and he still today comes along with bucket loads of fruit, and that's Dave Kennedy. Yep. And believe me, Dave Kennedy is a legend, but he's shot through, unfortunately. So when you young guys run past Dave Kennedy or Michael O'Mara or the other senior runners like Carl or Wayne or Mick or the Story brothers, Ben, Reg, Diane, just remember that they were very good runners in their time. They were all easy sub 40 10k runners. And there's a young lady here today called Dottie Seekman. Where are you, Dottie? Yeah, another legend. She goes back to that era. Don't contradict me, but Dottie would do a half marathon in 88 minutes and wouldn't blow a candle out. It sucks, doesn't it? And after I'd been here a month, I met the founding fathers of this wonderful club, Billy Todd and Teddy Thompson. I think this is a wonderful story. These guys were big guys. They were boxers, and they trained rugby league football clubs, Wests and Parramatta. They decided to do some running to improve their boxing fitness. They invited runners along. The runners took over, and the rest is history. But they'd come along with all their boxing stuff. They'd have boxing bags and punching bags. And they'd set it up over there near the river. They'd hang them off trees and kiddies' equipment. So you do your run, which is 10k, and then everyone would spend 5 minutes punching these punching bags as fast as you could. It was a really, really hard workout. But if you can imagine 40 or 50 slightly built runners, girls included, punching these punching bags, it was a sight to see, and it's a sight I'll never forget. Anyway, that's 6 minutes to go. I just want to talk briefly how this club has evolved over the years without internet. Now, internet will build anything, but this was before internet. Now, I run the 3.5 handicap, and for years I used to scoff and sneer at the 3.5 handicap. The babies races, as Sue Chenery calls it. Now, Sue Chenery, by the way, is a state marathon champion. Desi wasn't far behind. Sub 3 hour state marathon champion. Desi was there, and where's Diane Hilson? She was up there. Yeah, right there. She was up there with the best. And when I joined this club, there was another young lady called Patricia Marshall who was a state marathon champion. Now these girls didn't win their age category. They won the marathon outright. And Sue will agree with me that the competition then was a lot hotter than it is now. But that's, yeah. Talking about marathon runners, how could you ever go past Graham, Mountain Man, Karush? 315 marathons in a Sydney to Melbourne. It's a really, really awesome achievement of worldwide proportions. So well done, Mountain.
Many years ago.
Yeah, who cares? We all go back many years. And that's the wonderful thing about this club. There's a really solid group of really high achievers. And where's Dave Richards and Stephen Spider and Ben and Peter and Eamon, Dean, Laurie, and etc. and the girls. Lillian's here. No. All right. And Jackie and Kathy and Sue's 1, 2 and 3 and Leanne's 1 and 2, 3. Our wonderful jumper, Siobhan. Where is she? She's gone.
Siobhan thinks she's won the handicap today.
Well, a really wonderful jumper, and the mother and Sam, and nowadays the young people. There were very few young people in 1979. Where's Jack and Nathan, and look, the other young people, I just don't know their names.
A couple of Nathans.
Yeah, and the ethnicity of this group. Back in the old days, I was the only Italian wog in the club. but nowadays, I mean, you got the wonderful Trin family and Gurong and Vatesh and their families. The Carabellas and our friend here. So, yeah, Rafik, of course. But anyway, sorry, I'm starting to wander all over the place here. Going back to the 3.5 handicap, I think it's a wonderful race because it caters for old people, broken down people, people who fall off mountains. Where is he? Yeah, there he is. People who lose a lung or two, children, walkers, slow runners, fast runners, real fast runners. It's the most inclusive of all the events, and I think the person who thought of it deserves a medal, and I think it was John Fletcher. Then there's the 5 at the Lake, which is better than Park Run. Running with Ben, I haven't done that yet because I don't want to lower the tone of the event, but I will do it one day. Then there's the 10k handicap. For the first 30 years I was a member here, that's all we had, the 10k handicap. I mean, it had a lot of prestige. We had over 100 starters on many occasions. And Mick Killam, is Mick here? Yeah, Mick Killam and I would run it, and we'd do it in 40 minutes or better. We wouldn't finish in the top 10. I mean, that's how hot the competition was. But it's a wonder the club survived, but it did survive because in 1990, something really wonderful happened. Along came the marathon, and Westies, the popularity of the marathon with Westies took off like a rocket. If you joined this club in 1979, you ran dozens of marathons. No ifs or buts, you just did it. And looking around, Brian Rensford, gone. Brian. God, 75 marathons. Dave Kennedy, legend Dave Kennedy, he's gone as well. He did over 100 marathons and plenty of ultras. Peter Allen, who was supposed to be here, and his wife Barbara, we all remember them. They did well over 100 marathons. Mick Killam, 75 marathons. In Sydney alone, you could do 8 or 9 marathons. Every second country town had a marathon. Westies had their own marathon. Twice around the lake, out to Chipping Norton, Warwick Farm Racecourse and back again. I mean, the prospect of running around here twice now just terrifies me. but we all did it. Then the Wang marathons. I'm sure so many people here ran in the Wangs. There were 4 Wang marathons, which attracted 1,500 starters. North Sydney Oval, over the Harbour Bridge, out to La Perouse and back to Revik. They were wonderful runs. And I just got to digress for 30 seconds because there was also the Vets Marathon, and I think this is a really funny story, and it's been embellished over the years. The New South Wales Vets had a marathon every year at Botany, and one year they invited us young runners to run, just to give the race some numbers and some atmosphere. We weren't allowed to win it, but that's fine, so off we go, 7 a.m. in the morning, backblocks of the industrial parts of Botany. We'd been running for well over an hour, hadn't seen a car, a dog, a person. The joint was empty. And just digressing again, talking about dogs, when you ran in the 70s and 80s, dogs were a pain. They roamed the streets and the parks. They waited on street corners. I'm talking about Chloe. Yeah. They waited on corners for you to run past when they would attack. So you do your 12k run in the morning or the evening, but sometimes it would include a sprint or two. Anyway, getting back to the Vets Marathon, we're running down Bunnerong Road, which is a long straight road, and down the end is a level crossing. That's where a railway line crosses the road. And as the lead runners approach the level crossing, a guy appears frantically waving a flag. And sure, 2 seconds later, these 2 locomotives rumble across the road going very, very slowly, followed by 40 wagons going very, very, very slow. So the race stops. You couldn't go over the train or around the train. So by the time I got down there, there was bedlam. The vets are jumping up and down and carrying on. The guy with the flag's copying it in heaps, and we thought this is just so funny. We all started to laugh. Well, we weren't invited back. And alas, the Vets Marathon is long, long gone. All right, 4 minutes to go, right? I'm over. No. I lost my... All right, I was going to talk about 6 foot track and City to Surf. And City to Surf, there's 2 people I want to mention. Chris Moynihan's run every City to Surf, and also Teddy Thompson, our founding father, who's one of our fathers who's run every City to Surf. 6 foot track. Ben's up there. Ben and Lillian's up there with the best, but your target is Bill Rannard. Where's Bear? There he is. 24 6 foot tracks. 22. Vic Anderson, 19. So he's your target. All of us have also had 6 foot tracks, but we're all broken down. That's what you have to look forward to. All right, marching on. In 1991, another wonderful thing happened. 2 minutes to go. Along came the... Along came... all right, this is the last story. Along came the triathlon, and Westies took to triathlons like literally a duck to water. Yeah. And Westies did triathlons all over the world, and just looking around, Rob Davidson, is Rob here, our wonderful photographer. He did lots of triathlons. Rob Ellison, our wonderful our not so wonderful handicapper, did lots of triathlons. The Eisners, they aren't here. They did them all over the world. But there's one person I'd like to mention as regards triathlons, and that's the late great Ian Green, the Green Machine as we called him, husband of Pam. Ian won the East London, South of England triathlon in his age category. He beat the best in Europe, the best in the world, and when he came back here, he told me that the swim was in the Thames River. Those of you who know London, I mean, that would have been really, really interesting because it's full of barges and pleasure craft and sailing boats and warships and dead horses and dogs and whatever. Right, 10 seconds to go. Along comes UTA. I don't know what UTA stands for, but I know there are people in this running club who run 50 kilometres over mountains. Brad's not here, Grant's here, Sue 1, Sue 2, Leanne's 1 and 2, Anita, Jackie, no, coming to her, and Sam, yeah. And there are also other people who run 100 kilometres over mountains, led by our club stalwart, Vic Anderson. There he is. You ought to know better, Vic. Yeah. And there are other people who run 100 kilometres over mountains, so I've discovered, with a broken bone in their foot. Take a bow. Well done. So let's all keep running with this wonderful club. Let's all stay healthy, and let's all keep enjoying ourselves. And the history lesson has ended. Well done. Thank you.
Well done, Peter.
Absolutely wonderful, thank you. I'm absolutely loving the history, and just realise that some of the old croakies are actually amazing runners in the past. Gives us all hope. So thank you so much.